rounding decimals. So decimals are parts of the whole. And so what does that mean, right? Like if you think about it, we have a quarter, right? And that would be a part of a whole, right? Because a quarter is not quite a dollar, right? It's just part of a dollar. And so now let's go over place values because this is also really important. So we have a 5 and then we have the dot, right? And so this is going to be our ones place value, right? And so we've gone over this, but now we're going to go to the right, right? So now when we go to the right of the dot, we're going to have tenths, right? So if you think about it, we have tenths, and then we're going to go on to our hundredths. So notice that we just add THS to the end, right? And then we have the thousands. And then we have 10,000s. Then we have 100,000s. And then we have our millions. Now let's go over rounding rules for decimals. So if it's between 0 to 4, we're going to go ahead and round down. If it's between 5 to 9, we're going to round up. Now this is for, right, when we look to the decimal to the right of the place where we're going to round to. So if we're, say, rounding to the nearest hundreds, we're going to be looking at that thousands place value to determine if we round up or down. So let's go over some examples. Example 1, the average gallon of gas in America is $2 and then 714. Round to the nearest hundredth. Well, if we look at this, right, so we have, let's go ahead and rewrite this. So we have 2.714. For rounding to the nearest hundredth, let's go ahead and underline that. So that's the 1. We're going to go ahead and circle the 4 because that's going to indicate to us if we're going to round up or down. So if it's between 0 to 4, we round down. Between 5 to 9, we round up. So as it's a 4, that means we're going to round down. So that means we're going to round down to just 2.71. And we could make this a 0, or we don't even have to include that 0 because it would mean the same exact meaning. Example 2, we're going to round this number to the nearest 100,000. So let's go ahead and rewrite this number. Make sure I wrote that right. Okay, so let's go ahead. So we have our ones, right? And then we have our little dot, so that indicates now we're moving into decimals. Tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So this is what we're going to be looking to round to the nearest, right? Like this is the thing, but we're going to be looking to the right of that to indicate if we're going to round up or down. So here's our 100,000s. We're looking to the millions to determine if we're rounding up or down. So between 0 to 4, we round down. Between 5 to 9, we round up. So as we look, we notice that the 2 is between 0 to 4, so that means we're going to round down to the 6. So it's just the full 6. So and then we could go 0, 0. So everything after the 100,000s place value, we just change to zeros. Now let's do the final example. Example 3, a common fraction is 3 over 16, which can be represented as 0.1875. So we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So let's go ahead and rewrite this number. Well, we have our ones place value, and then we have our tenths place value. So we need to look at this one, right? We're rounding this number either up or down, but we're going to look to the right of it to determine if we're rounding up or down. So 0 to 4, we round down. 5 to 9, we round up, right? And what we're doing is we're looking at this number, and we're saying, is this between 0.1, right, on a number line, right? Or is it closer to 0.2? So we're trying to determine if we round down or if we round up. Well, this is 8 is between 5 to 9, so we're going to round up. And so our answer actually becomes this one right here, right? Because so this, we could say maybe like this number right here is like this on the number line. So we would round up. So this would become, just to really indicate, 0.2 and then 0, 0, 0, right? And now you could write either of these because they mean the same thing.